Welcome into Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and I'm an idiot. I'm a big, stupid idiot, and I came on this program. I made a video, I believe it was on Monday, maybe it was on Tuesday, where I said, Julian Love is back. The sky is not falling. Everybody is going to be healthy, and there will be no issues for your Seattle Seahawks. They are going to be great, and your safety is back 100% healthy. I think that was my exact line. You're finally going to see this secondary 100% healthy. And then he re-injured his hamstring and is officially out for this Sunday's matchup against the Commanders. I'm going to dive into what that means for your Seattle Seahawks, along with another bad piece of injury news. But before I do that, I need you to let me know. Go down below in the comments right now. Are you nervous for Sunday without your strong safety starter, Julian Love, being active? Are you nervous? I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. Yes, Ty Okada has played well. Yes, Emmanwori has played well. I still miss Julian Love running around making big plays for your Seattle Seahawks. So we got our full injury report up here from Wednesday's practice, and I think it's important to notice as you go through that our main man, Julian Love, hamstring, did not participate. Earlier on this week, I showed you this photo, and I said, he's on track. He's almost ready to go. Mike McDonald said that he expected Julian Love to be out there running around, playing for your Seattle Seahawks. So much so that I said he's going to play. And that you're finally going to see this defense at 100% strength. And now I feel like an idiot sandwich. I need Gordon Ramsay to come up, put the bread on the sides of my face and say, I'm an idiot sandwich. I was ready. I was saying he's going to play. And unfortunately, I was wrong. Not because I had bad intel. I had the correct intel on Tuesday. Where I went wrong was that I didn't think about the possibility of re-injuring. Now, here's a extra downer for your Seattle Seahawks. This is coming from Hawk Blogger. He says, IR is in consideration for both Julian Love and Dareke Young per head coach Mike McDonald. We'll get into Dareke Young's injury here in just a moment, but I want to dive more into this Julian Love. If he goes onto IR, he's going to be out for 4 more weeks. That's a whole other month. You're not going to see him till the end of November, possibly into December. Who are the replacements for Julian Love? Well, it's these two guys. Ty Okada has, for the most part, really taken on that strong safety role. Now, some of that is because Emmanwori was injured early on in the season, right? He was going through that high ankle sprain, and so Ty Okada had to get some extra time. Well, Emmanwori has returned to this lineup. He's playing great. He's one of the top defensive rookies in the NFL right now. But I do have to say, Ty Okada, while clearly not a starting caliber safety, is a very strong quality backup safety because he does a variety of different things. Now, it's very rare that when I go in and I ask producer Reed to make a graphic for a safety that I say, hey, not only do you have to put tackles on there, you have to put sacks, and you have to put pass breakups, and you have to put interceptions. I wanted to throw in tackles for loss as well. When you think of a safety, you think of a coverage guy. A guy that, yeah, he's going to have some tackles, but he's not going to be one of your top tackle guys. Well, Ty Okada, in the games that he's played this year, is one of the top guys for your team when it comes to tackles. He's in the backfield making plays. He has multiple sacks on this season. And he's also getting in the backfield, getting a lot of pass breakups when he's out in coverage. The other big thing for the Seahawks, Emmanwori, man, this came out just today. So going into the season to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, Emmanwori, plus 5,000. He's now plus 250. So you have two quality, and I do mean quality safeties, that can come in and steady the ship while you're without Julian Love. Now, there are still some things that you need to improve upon. Specifically for me, while they are good athletically, there are some miscommunication issues that continue to happen when both are out on the field. Ty Okada, for me, was a big issue when it came to his communication during the Jacksonville Jaguars game, as well as the communication that he had with some of his fellow secondary members when you were playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You saw him get burned twice, a couple times deep, and you saw a couple other times where it was just blown coverage. 2 guys covering one, while the second guy goes completely free. Those things cannot happen. That all being said, they're more than capable backups for you. Both have been put in a position where they had to step up, and both have clearly stepped up and are performing at a high level. I know Emmanwori is the toast of the town. That's the guy that I love the most. But Ty Okada has been more than serviceable in that role as that strong starting safety. Now, I want you to tell me who you trust more. If you trust Ty Okada to be that starting strong safety, you're going to go into the comment section right now and type TO. If you think Nick Emmanwori is more trustworthy and should move out of that big nickel position and play more at that strong safety position, you're going to type NE in the comments. I think if I had to go right now, I'm typing TO, but that's simply because of how good Nick Emmanwori has been in that big nickel spot. I like adding him into the box, and I also like adding him in more blitzes off of the edge. I think Nick Emmanwori just is too valuable in a role like that to not use him in that role. So then that leads to me trusting Ty Okada just a little bit more. Now, the other big name that I want to make sure that we highlight going through on this is Dareke Young. He has a quadricep injury. He did not participate in practice this week for you, and he is not going to be playing in this game against the Washington Commanders. It's unfortunate that you see a quad injury derail what I think has been a fairly decent year for Dareke Young. Now, has he come in and completely lit the world on fire? No, of course not. It's not what you're asking him to do. But what he has done is come in and been a big-time performer when you've asked him in the blocking game as a wide receiver, but more importantly, in the special teams game. He's been great in that kick return spot or that off kick return spot, and he's had a couple of big runbacks, but he's also had a couple of big blocks for you. Now, earlier on in the week, you saw the Seahawks go in and sign former Saints kick returner, wide receiver, running back, basically gadget-type player, Velus Jones. And there was kind of a conversation of why would they go and sign him to the practice squad? What does that mean? Well, actually, that's the funny thing about doing videos here on Seahawks Today. They just made a change in Seattle. Velus Jones was cut from the practice squad. Myles Gaskin was brought back. That just kind of broke on my cell phone right here. That's why you subscribe to the channel, though. We have breaking news and updates, and we get them tossed right onto the screen as fast as possible. So now you might be seeing Myles Gaskin potentially as someone who gets called up and gets used in the kick return game, kind of replacing where Dareke Young was. So that is now the move. It isn't going to be Velus Jones Jr. It is actually Myles Gaskin, and he could be potentially the replacement for Dareke Young. I do want to leave you with some good news at the end of this, because it's been a very bad news, injury news heavy show. But before I talk about the good news, I do need to let you know about our good friends over at PrizePicks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with PrizePicks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on PrizePicks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on any 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you could cash in. PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. PrizePicks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are overhyped? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on PrizePicks. For this Sunday, I got a nice little 2-pick power play. Sam Darnold more on his passing yards. George Pickens more on his receiving yards. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. We got to look on the bright side just a little bit. I am a glass half full type of guy. I did tease, hey, there is something good going your way in Seattle. I think too often we look at the negative in this life and we don't dive into what has been going right for you, what has been going well for you. And I think that finally you get some good injury news when it comes to your secondary. And so I want to take one more look. And I want to show you just exactly who is back. Because I don't think that enough people have gone over to the second to last spot and looked at cornerback Devin freaking Witherspoon. Because when you look at his Wednesday practice, what do you see? Full participation. That means he was out rocking and rolling and running around for your squad. He's freaking back. Back, baby. I love getting Devin Witherspoon back out there. We went in and I was diving, scouring the internet calling up all of the experts that I knew that were at practice. And finally, we get to see our cornerback one, our nickel one, going up against Jackson Smith-Njigba. This is a practice photo from Wednesday. He's freaking back, and he's running with JSN, fully padded up. He looks like he's ready to hit. He looks like that knee has gotten the swelling to go down. He's moving, he's cutting. If he's going out there and guarding Jackson Smith-Njigba, that means he is back. It's going to be so good to see Spoon back on the field. It's going to be so good to see Spoon in that nickel position. Imagine what Seattle is going to be able to do, and head coach Mike Macdonald, when you have Witherspoon on one side and Nick Emmanwori on the other. What if you have Nick Emmanwori and Devin Witherspoon on the same exact side doing all kinds of who knows what? Both are fast enough to guard wide receivers in the slot. Both are strong enough to take on tight ends. And both are mean enough to get after the passer if you want to add them into the blitz game. Shoot, both are tough enough to go up against a running back if you want to add them into the run blitz game. So there's your good news. Devin Witherspoon is probably going to be back on the field on Sunday. Why did I say probably? Because I don't want to do another I'm an idiot sandwich type of situation. Make sure you subscribe to Seahawks Today, though. We've got all kinds of great Seahawks information that is coming out every single day. We got videos. We've got shorts. We got full form, long form, whatever you need. We've got it here on Seahawks Today. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that. And until next time, I will see you all later.